Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're gonna go ahead and jump on back to where we left off here. Got a camera, so that's me. Um, Left off. We finished the first tour, which kind of taught us the basics of the game. The point of this playthrough was just to kind of learn how to play, really, um, and to play that first race, the Ekdarians. So let's go ahead and pull up the next tour. Already did the basic one. So your empire. This screen shows a breakdown of both your state and private economies. Each type of economy, each type of income and expense is listed for the current and previous year, as well as a projection of the expected amounts for each of these for the current year. You can hover over each amount for more information. The state economy. The top section of your state economy shows regular anticipated income and expenses. These amounts change slowly over time as your empire grows. The bottom section of your state economy shows irregular bonus income. These amounts can vary widely, often being comprised of private shipbuilding income, where the private sector of your empire buys new ships. Private economy. The private economy section shows the income and expenses of the private sector of your empire. You have no direct control over how the private sector earns or spends money. So this is kind of what I talked about in the first video. The state economy is what I'll be in control of, and then there's a private economy that kind of builds miners, and they try to provide, get the freighters, and they go and get the resources, and they bring it back to you, and then you can buy the resources to build more stuff to expand further, which will create a bigger private economy, which funds a bigger state economy, etc. But you don't want to run away from your private economy, spend too much, and, not or too little, and have your private economy just flounder for any reason. Private economy's down here. So we're gonna try to be careful not to do that, because as the first run, we're gonna do our best here. Empire funding levels. If you choose, you can fine-tune how your income is spent in the bonus funding level screen. Hover over each value for a detailed explanation. Note that Empire funding levels are automatically handled by your advisors. Controlling these levels manually is an advanced option. To turn off automation and control funding levels yourself, visit the economy section in the Empire policy screen. So that's one thing about this game. It'll let you automate almost everything. You can have it just so you're pretty much just watching an empire do its own thing. With a little bit of you can do a little bit of messing with it, but for the most part, if you set it to fully automate, it'll just kind of run itself. And I'm pretty close on my settings right now to it being fully automated, but we're gonna work our way towards controlling more and more of the game and see what all we can do with that, and learn this first playthrough with the Ekdarians. Probably gonna be a lot of automation. A lot of going through the tours, figuring stuff out, playing with buttons, that sort of thing. So, if you're more advanced, you can leave comments and tell me what I'm doing wrong, get some tips, or you can wait, and maybe my next playthrough will be more to your liking. So, let's see. Allocate maintenance funding. If you choose to manually control funding levels, in this screen, you can set percentage values for each of your main regular expense areas. Ship and base maintenance, troop maintenance, and facility maintenance. These percentages will limit how much your advisors are willing to spend in each area. Okay, so this is where they set things automatically. So talking about allocate maintenance funding. Oh, here it is. Okay. Next, maintenance. This screen shows the ship maintenance costs for all ships and bases in your empire, whether state or privately owned. The military section shows the number and total maintenance of military ships for each role. The other state section shows the number and total maintenance of other state ships and bases for each role. The private section shows the number and total maintenance of private ships and bases for each role. So we got the military. Don't have a military. Yeah, we're gonna be working on that. We got 2 exploration ships, 2 construction ships, and a small spaceport, costing us 1,239. I'm gonna call them credits. I called them money units last time. It doesn't seem right, so we're gonna call them credits. And then the private sector has 4 freighters and a mining ship. Government. This screen shows the details about your current government and a summary of all the empire-wide bonuses for your empire. Changing your government. You can change your government by selecting another type of government from the drop-down list at the top of the section. At the beginning game I chose Republic, which is what I'll be sticking with probably. After comparing the stats between your current government and the selected one, you can change to the new government by clicking the Have Revolution button at the bottom of this section. The section Empire Bonuses from All Sources provides a list of all your bonuses. Hovering over each line gives a complete breakdown of the various factors that add to each bonus type. Leaders. It's this button. Your empire's leader is shown here. Your leader is a very important character for your empire. Their skills apply across your entire empire, providing benefits or penalties in various areas. You can see the details of your leader by hovering over the list entry and clicking to lock open the panel at the right. You can change your leader's name by clicking on their name under the portrait and typing a new one. You know, sometimes when I watch YouTube videos, they offer to let people have characters or leaders named. So I think for the leader here, if I get a comment on the videos, if anybody wants me to name the character anything in particular, first person in the comments to tell me, name it this, I'll name it that, as long as it's appropriate. All right, let's see. Events. At the very bottom of the detail panel is a list of all the events that your leader has been involved with. Various events can improve or decrease your leader's skills, or provide new character traits. If your leader has very poor skills, you may decide to dismiss him using the button under his portrait. A new leader will eventually be selected to replace them. Policy settings. This button. The policy settings screen allows you to control which parts of your empire are automated. I was looking for this in that first video. If I forgot, you gotta click that's how you see what's automated and what's not. You can expand or collapse each section by clicking on the header bars. In addition to the high-level automation controls, each area also has many other settings that allow you to adjust things in more detail. Hover over each setting for an explanation. The top section, Advisors and Automation, summarizes all of the automation settings for your empire, providing a single centralized location to change which areas are automated, advisor controlled or manually controlled. You can select one of the preset configurations from the drop-down list at the top. I actually want to play with this for a second here. Let's see. Okay, so I have them set to suggest things for me. I thought I was having them just do everything. I do have them setting the population policy, the tax rates, stock levels, funding levels, research. I do not have them doing crash research, which we'll talk about that later, I'm sure. Automated ship and base design, so you can design what the base looks like, what it has in it. I think that's what it looks like, but at least what it has in it. Down to little modules. They got little modules, and you gotta choose which modules, and you can min-max that to your heart's delight, which we will be worrying about probably on the next playthrough, or maybe even the one after that. Who knows how long it'll take me to get that figured out. Then let's see, we got character locations. You automate the movement of your characters to their optimal locations. So that's the like the scientist and he's pretty much in the main spot, but like generals, admirals, that sort of thing, they'll just kind of decide where they should be on their own. Which I'll keep it that way. Intelligence missions, doing that on their own. Diplomacy gifts. Every once in a while, you can offer gifts to other factions, which will improve their mood towards you, so you can not get murdered by them. So I have it set to suggest on all this stuff for diplomacy. If you think I should do it, I'll take a look at it and we'll see if I should do it or not. Same with military attacks. I don't want them going off on their own attacking stuff. But if they suggest it to me and it makes sense, I'll just hit a little allow button or something. It does it, if I remember right. I have troop recruitment automated, fleet formations automated, so it'll create little fleets, and then decide what ships go and which fleets. So right now, I'll keep that on automated. That's probably one of the first things I'll take over manually at some point here once I start getting more comfortable. Fleet postures and ship management, fleet ship management. Exploration. All right, so got you can send a survey team, and then let's see, hidden items present. When there's hidden items present, or colonizable, or it's populated. I mean, it sounds good. Send a survey team. They will usually use these to explore planet because they are faster, but you can override them. Okay. So it's like they have to send a survey team. It takes a while. They survey the planet or whatever. Later on, you'll get a module. It's a resource scanner. It'll do it from orbit or whatnot, so you don't have to send the team in. All right. This specifies how ruins should be handled during exploration. Okay. And then investigating abandoned ships. So I'm telling it to tell me when this stuff's happening, and I'll decide at the time. I'm probably gonna investigate in every opportunity I get, just because I don't know anything bad that can happen. And I want to see what happens. Colonization. It'll suggest it for me. That's good. There's some planets that'll be colonizable, but if you colonize it, then it's actually not that great of a planet sometimes. So I'll tell it to suggest it to me, so I don't go around colonizing everything. And oh, look at that! You can set the percentages here too. All right, and then colonies and tax rates. So I told it to just automate the colony tax rates. I know, like, there's probably another thing I'll be taking over fairly quickly. Because I know if you have a lower tax rate, then your planet grows faster. Your planet grows faster, then you have population. You have more population, then you can get higher resources and everything going on. So, whereas the game, when you automate it, I think it tends to keep kind of a high tax rate, which kind of stunts growth, pulls money from your private economy to give to your state economy, but then your private economy doesn't have any money to grow, which means it isn't growing. So we'll figure that out and mess with that pretty quickly, probably. And then if there's a facility building, it'll suggest it to me that it thinks that the colony wants. That's good. Okay. Target approval. Oh, so you can set approval. No, we're gonna try to figure that out probably. I might keep it automated and then just try to figure this stuff out. But we will figure that out. We're a little higher. We want everybody to be happy here. That way, we're not pulling too much money from the private economy. So the less money we're taking, the more approval we get. So by increasing the approval, I believe that means that it'll take less money from the private, and then we'll grow a little faster, hopefully. But at the expense of we're not getting enough money, as much money in our state economy. Which is fine. Okay. Ship and base design. This is something I want to figure out pretty quickly. Also, it's pretty fun. I actually played around with it quite a bit last time I played. To build my own stuff and put the components in and hold and make sure you got enough power and make sure it's capable of jumping far enough, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty advanced. I'll keep it on automated for now, and then we'll mess around with that at a later date. Ship construction is going to suggest building ships. It's going to suggest building bases. It's going to suggest repairing abandoned ships and bases. It's prioritizing state ships over private ships in the construction queues. Okay. Prioritizing state ships over private ships in the docking queue. So ships have to dock to repair and refuel and all kinds of stuff. So then there's only so many docking spots, so there'll be a queue, and we want the state ships to jump in front of the private ships. New military ships are automated. Okay, so yeah, they'll automatically join the whatever fleet they should join this way. That's good. Then other state ships, that's the constructors and the science ships. Those are automated also when they come out, when they're brand new. Let's see, a population to build a large space. I have no idea what number that should be sent to. I'm going to just assume that the numbers they put in are generally a good idea type numbers. So we'll just leave those as is. And then it's got a minimum distance to set between building spaceports. It's fine. Normal. I think pretty early on, if I remember, the pirates start attacking. And I like to have defensive bases up, because a lot of times your military ship can't really get to it. But, this is just the priority in which it's built, so maybe I can just move it myself. And then they got percentages on how many of each ship type you should build. I'm gonna assume that's correct for now. I'll probably be taking that over anyway at some point. So. And then whether or not to build new freighters or independent traders, this can earn a small amount of extra income for your empire. I like extra income. We'll keep that on. If I'm saying anything wrong, or if anybody's watching, or I say it and like yeah, extra income sounds good, but this is actually bad because it doesn't work good or something like that, just go ahead and let me know in the comments. Repair independent ships, whether to repair freighters, and yeah, repair everybody. Offering gifts, all that stuff. Okay. Military tax. Tell me, capture condition for ships. I'm just gonna leave all this as is. Upgrade enlisted military. Whether captured military ships that are enlisted into your empire should also be retrofitted. Yes, I'm thinking. I do want it, so if I capture somebody else's military ship, I want it to be upgraded to the best available, like mine, for example. Or if theirs is already better, then just leave it, I think is what it'll do. Upgrade enlisted civilian ships, same thing. Characters at conquered colonies or bases. Capture if enemy, return home if other. That sounds, I don't know, destroy them necessarily. I don't know, maybe I should destroy them, but I think I'll leave them as is for now. Automatically refuel manual ships. I'm going to say yes, because I have a feeling that's, once I go manual, this is where I will struggle, is remembering to refuel and repair, so we'll just leave that automated there. I want them to automatically retrofit too. Military mission, okay. Troops, all automated, that's fine. I don't know what's going on with that anyway. Fleet formation's all automated, okay. Military ships not assigned to a fleet. So it's going to keep 5% of the ships I build out of a fleet. Is that what I want? I guess maybe. I don't know. I'll leave it. The research, we already talked about that. And intelligence missions. I know nothing about the intelligence missions. It's all automated. do whatever you can do. It's all yes. Sounds good. Okay. So that's that tour. Got time. How much time was that? So yeah, this is 20 minutes, so I got time to do another tour in this episode. Alright, so your empire next diplomacy. As you encounter other factions, you can engage in diplomacy with them. Diplomacy involves establishing treaties, giving gifts, and trade details. When things don't go well, it can also include the declaration of war and the resolution of peace. At the start of the game, you haven't met anyone yet, but if you rerun this tour, once you have contacted another faction, then more items described below will be visible. Relation list. This screen lists all your relations with other empires. Note that by default this excludes pirate factions and independent colonies. Check the various sort and filter options at the top of the panel. Each list item shows how other empires feel towards you, along with the trend of your relationship. Click a relation item in the list. Clicking a relation item in the list will select the faction capital, if no. Relation detail panel. Hovering over a list item shows the relation detail panel to the right. Clicking the list item or the detail panel will lock it open. The detail panel provides a complete summary of your relationship with the selected empire. At the top are shown the empire flag and all of the races in the empire. Hover over each race for the total population in the empire and a summary of their characteristics. The style of government is shown underneath the empire name. Below this is Speak button that allows you to initiate conversation with the other faction. Speaking with another faction. Speaking with the other faction provides a number of options, including offering treaties and gifts, and negotiating detailed trade deals. Click Goodbye or the Close button at top right to end the conversation. The Empire's current reputation indicates how others generally view this empire. An empire's reputation comes from its actions. Hover over the value for a list of the factors contributing to the empire's reputation. War weariness. War weariness grows over time. Whenever an empire is at war with another faction, it greatly increases when the empire suffers significant losses in battle. So if you're at war, you lose a bunch of people, weariness is going to increase. High war weariness leads to unhappiness and unrest at colonies. Thus, an empire will typically seek peace when their war weariness is high, because they won't be fighting as well. Makes sense. However, sometimes an empire's war weariness value can actually be positive if they are the victims of an unjustified declaration of war by another faction. In this case, they have additional motivation to fight against the aggressors. Makes sense? Strategy. The strategy section shows how your empire plans to deal with the other faction. You can automate the setting and thus let your advisors select an appropriate strategy. Alternatively, you can manually control the strategy by turning off automation using the button at the left, and then selecting your desired strategy from the drop-down list at the right. Hover over the current strategy for an explanation of what it means when dealing with the other faction. It'd be cooler if I actually had seen it yet. Any current treaties are listed at the top of the status section. Talking about certain sections, they're all talking about stuff that's supposed to be here still. Okay. The next part of the status section shows the other faction's feeling towards you. The value at the left is the overall value defining how they feel about you. A positive value shows they like you. A negative value shows they dislike you. This feeling is described by the text in the middle. Hovering over this text shows how your advisors feel about the other faction. The current relationship trend is shown at the right. Under the summarized total is a complete list of all the factors that contribute to the other faction's evaluations of you. Some of these factors may be static and non-changing, whereas others may change over time, increasing or decreasing in value. Any trend for each factor is shown at the right. Other info. It's all the same tab stuff. The Empire Info section displays key information that you know about the other faction. Note that some of the information here may be incomplete. Known military strength only shows strength from the military ships that you have seen. That's good to know. Okay. The resource supply section shows Any trade income with the other faction. This means the resources that you have bought and sold with them. This section also shows the unique resources that the other faction can supply you with once you have a trade agreement. These are resources that you have a shortage of, but the other empire can trade with you. Their relations with other factions. The relationship with other sections shows the other factions' relations with all the other empires that you have met, including any treaties and their feelings towards each other. However, the feeling description for details on how both sides feel towards each other. Okay. Pirate relations. Pirates are outlaw factions that live entirely in space on ships or bases. They have no colonies. Pirates are generally unfriendly and hostile. They raid and pillage, taking what they want. However, you can improve relations with pirates by accepting protection agreements or offering them gifts. Alternatively, you can simply build up your forces and wipe them out. This screen lists all your relations with pirate factions. Check the various sort and filter options at the top of the panel. Each list item shows how pirate faction feels towards you along with the trend of your relationship. Clicking a relation item in the list will select the faction pirate base if no. Hovering over a list item shows the relation detail panel to the right. Clicking the list item or the detail panel will lock it open. The detail panel provides a complete summary of your relationship with the selected pirate faction, with similar information to what you would see when interacting with another empire. Speaking with pirates, you can converse with the pirates by clicking the speak button underneath their name in the details panel. Discussions with pirates provides options like offering treaties and gifts and negotiating detailed trade deals. Pirates often have much secret information about the galaxy, which they may be willing to sell you if relations are friendly enough. Click the buy or the close button at the top right to end the conversation. Okay. Independent colonies. It's just saying the same thing for each different tab. Yeah, just like, okay, it'll list them. If you hover over, it tells you your relationship with them. And yeah, so and then you click the X or the goodbye. So we don't need to read it. That ambassadors. Any ambassador characters in your empire are shown in this list. You can see the details of each ambassador by hovering over the list entry and clicking to lock open the panel at the right. You can change an ambassador's name by clicking on their name under the portrait and typing a new one. Ambassador location. Ambassadors apply diplomatic and espionage benefits to your relationship with another faction. To assign an ambassador to a particular faction, you should send them to the faction's capital. So you send your ambassadors to another faction's capital, then you can have them improve relations or set up spy, very similar to Stellaris with envoys. If anybody plays Stellaris, basically you send members of your civilization to another faction, and then you have them either like improve relationships, make their relationships worse, or set up like espionage. So use the location drop-down list and the transfer button to assign them to the desired faction. Alternatively, you can automate the ambassador so that your diplomatic advisors will select the best location for them. Alright, that's what I did. Use the automate button under the ambassador portrait at the right. I don't have any ambassadors, but I get what they mean. At the very bottom of the detail panel is a list of all the events that the ambassador has been involved with. Various events can improve or decrease their skills, or provide new character traits. Any spy characters in your empire are shown in this list. You can see the details of each spy by hovering over the list entry and clicking to lock open the panel at the right. You can change a spy's name by clicking on their name under the portrait and typing a new one. Intelligence mission spies carry out intelligence missions against other factions, stealing maps and tech, or sabotaging another faction in various ways. They can also perform counterintelligence, protecting your empire from enemy spy missions. Each spy's skills strongly determine which types of missions they are best at. Assigning missions. To assign a mission to a spy, select the target empire, mission type, any specific mission target and the time to complete from the drop-down list in the mission section. Then click Assign Mission button. As you select different options, the mission success chance is shown at the right. Be careful not to assign missions that are too difficult. Otherwise, your spy could be intercepted and even captured, leading to serious diplomatic repercussions. If you want to completely automate which missions are assigned to a spy, you can automate the spy using Automate button under the spy portrait at the right. Events at the very bottom of the detail panel is a list of all the events that the spy has been involved with. Various events can improve or decrease their skills or provide new character traits. Successfully completing intelligence missions can especially increase the skills of your spy. And finally, prisoners. Any captured characters from other factions are shown in this list. You can see the details of each imprisoned enemy character by hovering over the list entry and clicking to lock open the panel at the right. So, yeah, we'll take a look at that later. Alright, what do we at? We got 30 minutes. How long is it? It's only three slides long, so we'll knock this one out. Your Empire's characters are shown in this list. By default, this is filtered to show non-spy character roles. Check the various other sort and filter options at the top of the panel. You can see the details of each character by hovering over the list entry and clicking to lock open the panel at the right. Okay, so this is our leader, which will be named if anybody comments a name. But right now it's Osan Sarafu. He is ruling from Sumeria 3. And he increases our sensor research by 3%, our diplomacy by 2%, our civilian ship maintenance savings 4%, and civilian ship construction speed by 3%. And he is demoralizing. Slowly decreases the skills of all other characters at the same location or in the same fleet. It's not great, but it's not enough to dismiss him either. This guy should be moving. At some point I'm going to build a science base. And then he should be moving to the science base, so the demoralizing won't affect my scientist at that point. But for now, that's what my leader's doing right now. Character locations. Most characters apply their skills to their current location. For example, an admiral applies his military skills to the fleet he is part of. Scientists apply their research skills to the research station, where they are based. Your leader applies his skills empire-wide, improving your whole empire in different ways. Conversely, when they have negative skill levels, they can be detriment to your whole empire in those specific areas. So that's what I was talking about with that. To move a character to a specific location, use the location drop-down list to select the location and click the transfer button. Can I move that guy? I mean, I don't have anywhere else in my empire for him to go, but I assume that if I had another planet or something, I could send him off to that planet. At the very bottom of the detail panel is a list of all the events that the character has been involved with. Various events can improve or decrease their skills or provide new character traits. So yeah, very first day came to the planet, or was born on the planet, I guess. And then he's got some civilian ship maintenance and civilian ship construction, and then he got then a construction of a ship completed there, which improved something, I guess. Spies. Any spy characters in your empire are shown in this list. You can see the details of each spy by hovering over the list entry and clicking to lock open the panel at the right. So I don't have any spies right now. You can change a spy's name by clicking on their name under the portrait and typing a new one. Spies carry out intelligence missions against other factions, stealing maps and tech or sabotaging another faction in various ways. They can also perform counterintelligence, protecting your empire from enemy spy missions. Each spy's skills strongly determine which types of missions they are best at. Assigning missions. To assign a mission to a spy, select the target empire mission type and any specific mission. I think this is the same. Yeah, this is what we just talked about with spies, where you set a mission and try not to make it too difficult. They'll get caught, etc. And then the events thing is the same as the leaders. Any events that affect their skills would pop up at the bottom there, and you can look and see what contributed to what with that. And then the prisoners. So it's kind of similar to what we had over here, except it's here also. All right, that should about do it then for episode 2, part 2 of Let's Learn How to Play Distant Worlds 2. It's Distant Worlds Universe 2 is actually the title of the game, so I'll try to get that corrected in YouTube if I can. But appreciate everybody stopping by, and I hope you have a great evening or day or morning, or I guess it doesn't matter whenever you're watching this. And thank you.